This is Scott Greenya from Fairfax, Vermont, also known as Scotty DeQ, and you're listening to The Barbecue Central Show.
Happy to have you aboard here for the really big barbecue show.
Boing. We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me!
Fine, how you doing?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle.
Charbono! It's all about the Charbono, dude!
Succulent fish! What?
He ate 54 wieners.
But listen, Lavernius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
And just like that, we are into the second hour. Welcome aboard. You've found the Barbecue Central Show. We do it live here every Tuesday. It is Tuesday. We're doing it live from 9 to 11. Quick reminder, this is a live show. What you hear Wednesday, what you hear Thursday, if you subscribe to the podcast, is a replay of what is happening now for these specific 2 hours, 9 to 11. I know I'm competing with the president, so please, for all of you that have made time to forego the president, because you can probably get that on the Cliff Notes on your local news or whatever cable news network you're into to spin to your liking. You don't know what's going to happen here. This is really what you want to be tuning in for. Not for, what's good with the company or anything like that. I want to do that. If you want to jump in, 216-220-0966. You can also email Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Still to come this evening, we have a open segment in about 12 minutes from now. If you want to talk about anything KCBS related, we can talk about that. I will talk to you quickly about the items that sparked the segment idea. That being what appears to be potential hiring of a chief operations officer at KCBS. Also, you can talk to me about the PR firm that was hired by Kansas City Barbecue Society, and if you think that is a good look or a bad look. According to Meathead, that was not a great look, and something that shouldn't have happened even prior to putting it up for a vote if Randall should need to step down or not. That's something that just should have happened automatically. But we can get into that as well. So if you have a take on how you would like to see KCBS go into the future or some suggestions, tips, please feel free to call in next segment and share those with me. We can have a little back and forth. Also, as I had mentioned in the open, if you are running for one of the, what is now 6 open KCBS BOD seats, you can give me a quick shout and we can run over your platform and why you think you'd be a good fit and why you think you would be able to. Look, here's the biggest thing that I think people need to realize. It's you and 11 other people, 12 total. That's a big board. That's a lot of people to have to get on your side. Really difficult probably to get a quorum to get with whatever your particular viewpoint is. So I'm always interested to hear how that works. We'll see if anybody really calls in. I said to Meathead in this first hour, if nobody calls in, I have a great take about what a horrible, in hindsight, by the way, fully evaluated, fully self-aware, fully horrible basketball player I was in high school. It could easily run 15 minutes. That's how good the take is. I'm very excited to get it out. That's what's happening in about 10 minutes is the open segment for any KCBS talk that you think you want to get into. I do ask that it be constructive and positive as much as it can be. I'm not looking to Jerry Springer or anything or reveal any secrets to gas can anybody. It's not that kind of show. Never been that kind of show. Will not be that kind of show. Then helping me close the show in about 30 minutes from now, Belinda Hammond from Smithfield Barbecue will be joining me, and we're going to be most importantly, unveiling the 2019 Smithfield grant recipients. And I know there are people tuning in specifically for that, not only across the country, but across the globe, believe it. I've been getting emails all week. Can't wait through the weekend. Give me that time. I want to see fingers and toes crossed, all the good stuff. That's still to come on this show this evening. Don't forget, you can follow me socially at BBQ Central Show on Instagram, on Twitter /BBQ Central Show on Facebook. Coming up on Friday, the newest, latest, and greatest version of the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less. Since he was just on Tuesday, we will launch back into 2012. John Solberg, executive producer, has put together a double-header episode with Meathead, once again going back to 2012, where we talk specifically about beer can chicken, as he had just referenced, poking of meat, and what board sauces. Yes. Board sauces were really hot, then they really cooled off, and I think Adam Perry Lang is still the guy that is talking about board sauces, maybe only. Also, recently, like in the last 3 months, I saw a big run on, I call it compound butter. I think one of my guests in the next couple of weeks, Susie Bullock, Hey Grill Hey, called it resting butter. I don't know if there's some recipe difference on what she's calling a resting butter versus a compound butter. I mean, I've used that like forever. I've actually substituted out compound butter for grilling oil because I find that to be a little bit more convenient. But I saw that make a really big run, kind of a flash in the pan. I don't really see about it anymore, but board sauces. So if you missed that, you'll get the best 20 minutes of that interview with Meathead, again, dating back to 2012. Also, be sure to tune in to my weekly program Friday morning, where I guest on the John Cupo Show locally here in Cleveland, 101.5 FM, 1330 AM, WINT, or if you are not local or within a 15-mile radius, wintradio.com, and then just run the live stream right off the webpage, and away you go. Typically, I'm showing up around 7:30, and I'm going about an hour or so. So as Meathead had mentioned, and I'm sure as a lot of you notice on the Facebooks and on YouTubes, because I do monitor the chat, so I've seen it brought up a couple different times, being asked about the no video, plus no video last week as we were doing 2018. And if I can be candid just for a moment, I had last week a USB input issue, which is why there was no video for the live show last week. But it was so freeing to not have to worry about that portion of the production. As you know, I'm always trying to produce a great product. And if it's not perfect, I try to fix it. But sometimes I am under constraints that won't allow me to get it where it might need to be in that perfect range. Then the demons start to obsess over it. Then it consumes me. Down the rabbit hole I go. And what I've come to find out, video is that portion for me. I think on the whole, it's maybe missing 5% of being where it needs to be. But it appears I would need to do somewhat of a studio redesign to get the lights where I think they might need to be in order to get this halo thing that was on me. And I think it's always been on me. I don't know. But evidently I need to move the lights closer to me. And my space just isn't easily adjusted. It's not. I can't move my desk forward anymore because then I'll be right in the middle of the doorway. I can't move the lights where they are because they're mounted into the ceiling, and I don't really feel like unmounting them and then, I guess, putting them closer to me and putting more holes in the wall. So the other non-motivating factor for the video is the numbers. The video numbers, while nice, do not even come close to the audio download numbers. Audio downloads being iTunes, Google Play, Google Music, any of the podcast platforms. So to me, it only makes sense to focus less on the video, since I can't really accommodate the fixes that need to be done, and more on the audio quality of the guests. And quite frankly, I felt better doing the show last week, being able to concentrate on the stuff that makes the show sound good. So at least for the foreseeable future, I'm taking the camera off me, just running the audio. I'll use pictures as needed if the guests want to have their video up, like Meathead, and it makes sense. I go ahead and accommodate that. For I think for what I'm looking to do with the embedded correspondence, there will be video for that. But, trust me, as you have seen over the years, this face shouldn't be the only singular purpose that you are tuning into the show. Should be the content, the guests, maybe some comedy bits that keep you coming back, maybe that you want to hear. So if you're wondering why the video off again, that's why. That's it. Again, numbers don't lie. Audio download numbers are people who never see 1 second of video from me, but will hear this. So we'll see. As I've often said, I live in a world of hypocrisy. So there's a very good chance that next week I might come right back with a video. You just never know. But I can't sit here truthfully and tell you that if somebody's pointing out something that's wrong with the video and I can't fix it, that I'm not always going to think about that. It's going to consume me. That's just the way I'm built. Hey, Big Papa Smokers, the one-stop shop for all things barbecue. Their curated selection of only the best outdoor cooking and grilling supplies get you on the path to better barbecue results in no time. Everything at Big Papa Smokers has been Pitmaster approved by Sterling Big Papa Ball himself. From the award-winning rubs and sauces to American-made grills and smokers, Big Papa Smokers has everything you need to be a better outdoor cook. Whether you're in the backyard or a barbecue fanatic competition pro, Big Papa Smokers has something for everybody. They have those great championship rubs that I love to use. Sweet Money, Cattle Prod, Cash Cow, just to name a few, all proven winners on the competition circuit and in the backyard. There's actually 13 different flavors, perfectly balanced to transform ordinary meals into extraordinary. They have that great partnership with Simply Marvelous Barbecue if you're interested in that West Coast offense thing, especially if you're a competitor. They also own Granny's Barbecue Sauce. If you want a new go-to barbecue sauce that will please everybody, Granny's traditional yet powerful flavors remind us why you fell in love with barbecue in the first place. And they have the great cookers, right? That's right. You're looking for a versatile smoker that's easy to use? Check out the Mac 2 Star. The hell? I swear I muted that. I guess I did. If you're looking for a versatile smoker that's easy to use, check out the Mac 2 Star General Pellet Grill. Big Papa Smokers, the exclusive Mac dealer, even offers special packages. Not a fan of the pellet smoker? Okay. How about the old Hickory Ace BP, the only charcoal cooker that Big Papa trusts on his competition trailer? And the M Grill from Texas. It's steel. It will last forever. They're built like tanks. If you're not sure of what kind of grill you need, you give them a call and consult. 877-828-0727. That's 877-828-0727. Or shop their website at bigpapasmokers.com. That's BIGPOPPA smokers.com. All right, KCBS Talk, if you want to have it, 216-220-0966. Emails welcome as well, which I will read, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Stick around, be right back.
The only show giving you a monthly visit from a doctor of barbecue. A man actually named Meathead. The author of a barbecue Bible. Bloggers, reviewers, competitors, and manufacturers by the dozens. It's the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show is being brought to you by Smithfield, and they will be on next segment. Committed Cooks. If you have not signed up yet, try your hand and make sure and see if there are any open spots left. SmokingWithSmithfield.com is the website. That's Smokin', S-M-O-K-I-N, SmokingWithSmithfield.com. Belinda Hammond will be on next segment to talk about the 2019 grant program as well as an update on that Committed Cooks program, as I just mentioned, so stay tuned for that. As I had mentioned, you are ready to go if you want to talk about KCBS stuff, 216-220-0966. If you would rather get in touch with me through email, you can do that as well, greg@thebbqcentralshow.com. All right, looks like we got a phone call. Let's go ahead and race the phone. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Greg. This is Candy Weaver. How are you this evening?
Candy Weaver is in tonight. How about that? Candy, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for the opportunity to call in and talk about my platform and why I'm running for the board. I think that over the last couple of years, in the time that I've been off the board, I was content to be off the board, but several things happened this last year that I didn't agree with, and I thought, well, the only way I can do something about it is really get back on the board. So,
Candy, let me interrupt just for 1 second, because
Sure.
I do think it is important to point out that, and you just briefly alluded to it, you've already done this one time before.
No, 2 times.
Oh, 2 times before. That's right.
6 years.
So this is not something that is new for you, except perhaps the only thing new would be the situation or where it stands now. So what has caused the refire in you to want to run again?
Couple of management things that have gone on. You know, when I was on the board prior to this, like my last 2 terms, it was pointed out that all directors are the same. It doesn't matter whether you're an officer in KCBS or you're not an officer in KCBS. All 12 directors are the same, with the exception that the president doesn't get to vote, except in the case of a tie. But this year brought about the advent of the executive committee, which I believe is a blatant violation of the Kansas City Barbecue Society bylaws. That needs to change.
Candy, do you know that the executive committee is some type of a violation of the bylaws? Is there something in there that says that there can't be an executive committee of some sort?
The problem is there's nothing in there about it. You know, in the bylaws of KCBS, there are standing committees that are mandated to happen, and then other committees come about as generally at the direction of the president of KCBS. As one of the first jobs as a president of KCBS is the president appoints directors to a committee. Essentially, each director has a committee that they're the chair of, and they place members of KCBS on their committee who want to serve. You know, and Philip Brazier said something today that when he got on was the rep chair of the rep committee, he wanted to pick committee members that were from all over the country. And that's a good way to take it, because we do have reps all over the country, and
Sure.
we have contests all over the country.
Right.
But no, the executive committee never existed before this year.
So, what do you think the impetus of forming an executive committee is? Like, what's the gain then?
I would say the game was it was a way not to have to work with all the other board members.
So why not?
I think it shows a communication failure. You know, my over and over again in my answers to the questions, as I said, the biggest problem is lack of communication. And it's from the board to the membership, from the office to the membership, we develop patterns and things. And when you don't have somebody with the official marketing impetus, say, you don't necessarily have somebody that's going out there and representing the group, except for the whole lot of haters that are on social media.
So would you try and do away or disband an executive committee if you were to get in? Do you think that other board members would like to see that abolished or done away with?
I don't know. I don't know how many of the other candidates and how many of the board members really have studied the bylaws. I mean, I was on the bylaws committee the last time changes were made, and it was a pretty intense group, and we took the whole document and went through several things. And, you've got to look at what this year's board's going to be. Even if the incumbent gets reelected that's running, you've got 5 new people on the board. That's a lot.
Yes. And a potential of 6, so that would be half.
That's a radical change for KCBS. So I don't know. I'll be but one vote out of 12. And we'll see where it goes.
Did you ever get any type of a notification that there was a vote to be had in order to form and get an executive committee underway, or did it just magically appear one night?
I think it magically. I think there was a stalemate on the board, and it came about in order to become functioning.
Like to get out of a tie.
Exactly.
And so it's just stayed in existence.
I don't think that's necessarily a good way to have handled it, but I wasn't there, so I can't really address it. And really, everything that I have heard about it is from me reading the minutes.
All right, so let's talk about. So aside from the executive committee, other things that you would like to try and drive through if you get reelected.
I would really like for communication to open up on all levels. I would really like I've been doing this contest thing for a long time, since 2003.
Yeah.
And I would really like for it to be fun like it used to be in the old days. And maybe this is just me as an old-timer talking about it, but I don't think it's out of reach. I mean, the first rule in barbecue has always been have fun. And I think many of us, whether we're cooks, judges, organizers, anywhere in the gambit of it, have forgotten that it's not all about how great you do, and it's about the friends, family, and fun.
How much mirror looking does there need to be percentage-wise? I mean, have the cooks kind of cooked their own goose to a certain degree with the evolution of the sport, or I mean, do we still want to just heap it back up to the board making changes, or not listening, or not being transparent, or communicative, or things like this?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Sure.
I think that a lot of it is cook driven. The fact that every cook out there feels like they've got to go out there with high dollar meat to compete, and really barbecue is about taking low quality meat and making it the best you can. But it's pushed the sport out of the reach of a great number of people. So,
I mean, how do you fix it? Do you look at?
Well, I think one of the things is maybe you loosen the rules for you encourage judges and cooks to get together. I can remember a fun contest one time where the judges had a contest and the cooks were the judges on a Friday night. Mm-hmm. It was the most fun, let me tell you. And it united the two major factions of barbecue contests in KCBS in a way that really I've never seen since.
I know
there's ways to make it fun, and a lot of it is going back and being social with each other.
Well, I know that Tim Shop runs a Frozen Bones contest. It's not a KCBS sanctioning, but it is a contest where new teams are introduced. They get to run through, one meet kind of a timeline, and then after everything's done, they're brought back into the judging tent, and they sit down with the judges, and the judges tell them why they evaluated the meat the way they did. I know, obviously, that's something that probably would take place in a traditionally sanctioned KCBS contest, but here's something, similar to what you're talking about, where a new team is getting brought in. They see a timeline on one meet. Going to 4 meets, obviously, a different kind of a thing, but they're getting that genuine feedback and immediate feedback from the judges that were just judging their food.
Mm-hmm. And that's important. It's it's hard to, it's such a subjective thing on the judging side and on the cook side. Frankly, after I've cooked it, I can't really, and I'm a judge too, but I can't really determine whether it's any good or not.
So do you think, I was talking with Meathead in the first hour, and I said, ever since I've been doing the show, there's always been some kind of an issue with where the judging's at, angel tables of death, everything in between, classes being taught one way and then another way. Is it too far out of the realm of possibility to do away with certifying barbecue judges and then just getting people in a tent and saying, we're going to put this food out in front of you? Tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being bad and 10 being great, how it looks. And then how does it taste? And whatever tastes right to you, and the cream should still rise to the top, and you don't have to worry about all these judging classes, and it's like a people's choice almost kind of a thing.
Well, you're talking about IBCA out of Texas
sure.
and BCA out of Louisiana.
They don't have any trouble pulling teams into contests, I can tell you that.
Huh?
They don't have any trouble. They don't have any problem getting judges.
Not in
and
Texas, they sure don't.
And they don't have
Louisiana and BCA has made some inroads here at Arkansas, and I cooked 3 of them this year, and I like them. They're fun. It's a whole lot less stress. You don't have to worry about prettifying meat in a box. It's all, you've got a standard way you've got to present it, and it really is all about the barbecue. And every entry is given a score from 1 to 10 based on a number of criteria. But every judge gives 1 score for 1 entry.
Anything else from a platform standpoint, Candy, that you wanted to mention?
Elect me. I'll do the best. I'll work for you. I guarantee you won't see me on social media much, but you send me an email. If I have a KCBS email address, know that I will communicate, and I'll give you my phone number. You can call me anytime. I talk barbecue all the time. You want my chicken recipe, I'll give it to you.
Well, I was telling Randall Bowman this yesterday morning when I had a conversation with him, that the last time I remember we had a true line of communication open in Kansas City Barbecue Society is the last time you were president. We had our quarterly meetings, and we talked about KCBS. We talked about good, bad, and the ugly, and stuff that was coming up. I mean, that was a long time ago. All of a sudden.
Well, it was. You think about it. It's been 5 years since I was president.
Yep.
And I got real tired of saying, in my opinion, and this is my opinion only, but I can do it again. And I'll do my best. That's all I say is I want KCBS to thrive. I don't want it to survive. I want it to thrive.
Is there anybody else?
I think it's one of the best out there, and I think we can take a lesson from other sanctioning bodies to bring the fun back to KCBS. And a lot of that is focusing on our core expertise, and that's barbecue. And, there's a lot of really exciting things happening with a new website. There's some growing pains there, but by golly, that's under KCBS's control, and that's really exciting.
Is there anybody else that's running that you would vote for?
Well, I've already voted.
Oh, okay.
So I would say, and yes, I voted for 4. But as far as who, I don't think that's fair.
Got it.
So I think everybody should read the answers to the questions. We all answered the same, and vote for people that most appeal to you.
When does voting end?
2 days before the banquet, I believe. 16th.
16th, all right. So we still got about a week plus a day left to go.
Yeah,
or so.
And I know from talking to folks at the office that there are people that are, if they're having voting problems, call the office and get them to send you a paper ballot. Now, I do know that you have to send it back just about immediately, but they are accepting paper ballots. So if you're having a problem on the computer, call them. They'll help you. But don't be afraid to ask for a paper ballot.
Up for consideration and asking for your vote humbly is the former president of the KCBS, looking to get back on the board, Candy Weaver, Barbecuers Delight, of course, which makes great wood pellets that we all know and love. Candy, thank you for calling in tonight.
Thank you. Have a great one, Greg.
You too. There she is, Candy Weaver, calling in, leading the charge here as we talk some KCBS. So, again, some of the same stuff, transparency, communication. She was concerned that the evolution of the executive committee came up last year, and there was never a executive committee prior to this year. And her thought was that it was just made to get through a stalemate, and then it just never went anywhere. They kept it. So maybe if she gets in, she'll be looking to undo that, I guess. 216-220-0966, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com if you want to shoot me an email instead of calling. I did get an official KCBS statement because the offer was extended to them to come on. And they were advised by their counsel to not come on the show. But the statement reads as follows. Mr. Rempe, the Kansas City Barbecue Society is, as you know, a Missouri 501c4 nonprofit entity. As such, KCBS operates under the direction of bylaws voted on and passed most recently in 2012. To amend or change these bylaws, it takes a 2/3 vote of membership, which we are sure you will agree is an overwhelming majority in favor of KCBS adopting the operating under those. KCBS prides itself on following those as voted on by our loyal members. If any doubt ever arises or is questioned, we immediately seek legal advice from our representation. Our current retained legal counsel is the same firm KCBS had a long-standing relationship with and was the firm that drafted the current bylaws as KCBS operates. KCBS at times receives inquiries from members as well as non-members questioning the board of directors and its representation based on the bylaws in place and voted on by the large majority of our members. It is imperative to further understand that per the bylaws, there are very specific procedures regarding board elections and or removal. The current members in good standing all have a voice in this member-driven organization, and that is one of the greatest and protected rights in the bylaws. The board of directors is elected via bylaw procedure, the majority to make the easy, not so easy, and sometimes downright tough decisions for the majority of the members. Anyone throwing their name in the hat for a potential BOD seat must be nominated and accept that nomination under their own free will. This is a volunteer position. This year, KCBS has received one or more emails questioning our enforcement of the bylaws. To date, every one of these has been addressed through legal counsel and having an end legal opinion of KCBS following them correctly. Legal counsel is reviewing requests as they come in. We have them working now on a member request and are continuing to rack up legal bills that potentially take away from potential programs for the majority of the membership. We, just like you and your audience, find at many times to be between a rock and a hard place. When an email is sent in threatening litigation, we, out of duty to our members, need to address this through our legal counsel. The wants, needs, and desires to openly communicate is often, if not continuously, stifled by someone wanting answers for their interpretations. This makes it where any representative of KCBS is unable, per legal advice, to discuss any matter that may be part of past, current, potentially future litigation. KCBS strives to make any and all chances to communicate as openly as possible available. However, social media is not an official platform. We maintain the official platform for announcements is kcbs.us. And should anyone have any questions, the entire board can be reached via bod@kcbs.us. And that is your official KCBS statement on them not appearing, or anyone, I guess. I put out a number of requests, starting at the top and then working down the list there. So there you have it. And that went about as expected. Other things that we're sitting on, and we'll see how they play out. Candy Weaver is running for the board, as she had mentioned. So if you're interested in what Candy had to say, you want to touch her up for a little bit more information, go ahead and shoot her an email or hit her up on social media. She'll answer all your questions. Let me talk to you quickly about Traeger grills before we get with Smithfield. Behind every great meal is a great grill, but not any grill. A great Traeger grill, and the Timberline is Traeger's most advanced grill yet. It allows you to grill, smoke, bake, roast, braise, and barbecue like a pro, no matter what your level, thanks to the incredible wood-fired taste. Seriously, you don't know flavor till you're cooking with it. Traeger grills use all-natural hardwood pellets, so you're literally cooking with flavor, from low and slow smoked ribs to a seared steak, and even a baked apple pie. Traegers can handle it all, and the Traeger Timberline makes it even easier thanks to the Wi-Fi capability. You can check on your cooks, kick up the temperatures, set custom cook cycles anywhere, all right from your phone on that Traeger grill app. In fact, if I had a brisket on my Traeger right now, I could check on it. Find one at your local Traeger dealer or check them out online, TraegerGrills.com. Want to beef up your barbecue game? Traeger Shop class going from coast to coast, bringing barbecue knowledge and amazing wood-fired food everywhere they go. Taught by professional pitmasters, you'll take home all the skills you need to reach barbecue glory. Find a shop class near you. Sign up today, Traeger Shop Class. Traeger.com/shop class. That's Traeger.com/shop class. We're back with Belinda Hammond right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Continuing to produce incredibly mediocre content in an exceptionally professional way. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show is being brought to you by Fireboard. Monitor up to 6 different temperatures simultaneously. Connect to Wi-Fi for cloud-based monitoring or connect via Bluetooth. If you have Alexa or the Google Assistant in your home, you're in luck because Fireboard is fully integrated with both. Find out more by visiting fireboard.com or call 816-945-2232. I just got my Fireboard yesterday. Come on. Love it. You will be seeing video of me using Fireboard coming up shortly. It's great. All right, my next guest will be unveiling the events that will be receiving the event. Yeah, the 2019 Smithfield Grant Program. Will also be catching up on some of the other Smithfield programs and also talk about the Smithfield National Barbecue Championship that debuts this coming November 2019. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and race to the hotline and welcome back friend of the show, Belinda Hammond. Belinda, how are you?
Hi, Greg. I'm great. How are you?
Absolutely fabulous. Appreciate you making time for the show, as always. So we have a lot of items to get to here this evening. But first, I guess let's, since I did a look back at the best moments of 2018 last week on the show, do you guys look back on 2018 with specific fondness or any items that stick out to you?
Oh, my gosh. Well, I just blinked, and 2 days ago it was the American Royal. So absolutely, I had such a great time with all of our teams out here in Kansas City. It was wonderful. And then, of course, wrapping our year up at the King of the Smoker in California was wonderful. Want to pass along a huge congratulations to Brad Leininger and the whole Getting Basted team for claiming that grand championship and then taking home the KCBS Team of the Year. We're so proud of you guys. It was amazing.
What was your favorite part of the Royal? I mean, that's like, for people that have never been there, I'm included in that. I mean, you always hear about what a situation that it is. Like, what were your favorite moments of getting out there and experiencing it?
Where to begin, right? Well, I think two of my favorites, we had our loin ancillary during the Royal, and just seeing what the teams came up with, the creativity that these teams came up with for utilizing a Smithfield Prime pork loin was incredible, and I loved seeing the excitement around that. And also being able to be a part of Tuffy Stone's Hall of Fame induction. That was really something special for myself and the entire Smithfield team. We're so proud of him, and just to watch that ceremony was wonderful.
Belinda Hammond joining me here on the show with Smithfield Barbecue. Let's talk a little bit about the Committed Cooks program. I know there's a lot of folks that like to jump in on that, especially when we mentioned in the beginning it was, again, in that 500-team limit. So is that something that has been locked up now for 2019, or are there still spots available?
If you hurry, we still have a few spots available for the 19 season. So if anybody's listening and they're thinking, oh my gosh, I meant to do that, we do have a few spots left out there. I would definitely direct them to smokingwithsmithfield.com and click on the Committed Cooks page in order to register now.
And what kind of swag are you getting when you sign up? Because I know there's a little bit of like a shipping coverage cost, but you're getting way more in return.
There absolutely is. So the kit is valued at about $100, and you're going to take home new goodies for the 2019 season. So we're updating the hats. We've got, of course, koozies, pop sockets, tons of fun stuff that you can use. And obviously, sometimes you just burn through those koozies every year or lose them or give them to someone. So nice, fun gear. I know I've seen a few Facebook postings with the new kits on them. So I know they're getting out there, and I know everybody seems to be enjoying them so far.
Belinda, something new this year is the National Barbecue Championship, which is going to be finalizing in New Orleans the weekend of November 14th through the 17th. But let's kind of roll it back for the folks that just might be tuning in for the first time or didn't hear our last discussion about kind of the announcement of this event. How did it come about, and how is it going to roll out through the year?
So this is a really big deal. We're incredibly excited. All the minds that have been behind this program can't wait to see what it's going to become. The Smoking with Smithfield National Barbecue Championship was created to unify barbecue, so that we're not just talking about KCBS or IBCA or FBA. We really want to look at barbecue as a whole, as the entire country, and even my friends I met over there in England. So we really want to talk about bringing everyone from barbecue together, celebrating a unified national champion. So we're going to have a year-long points chase. That year-long started on September 1st of 2018. Wow, we're in 19.
That's right.
And goes through August 31st of 2019. And it's going to capture your best of 12 scores, 12 contests throughout the year. There's a lot of details you can find on smokingwithsmithfield.com that will give you specifics about how the contest is going to be run. We'll have our leaderboard going live very soon. Excited to be sharing news about that here shortly. And the leaderboard is going to show us where everyone ranks head-to-head across the country. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and then we're going to invite those top 24 teams to join us in New Orleans, like you said, on November 14th, and we'll have a 3-tier head-to-head. So we're going to start on day 1 with the 24 teams, narrowing it down to 12 teams for day 2, and the final 6 teams to go head-to-head on day 3 to name our national barbecue champion.
So
is
there going to be, I guess for lack of a better term, a Smithfield a set of rules for that weekend? I know World Food Championships has their EAT methodology. I mean, is there going to be something that's specific to you guys, or are you going to be looking to sanction out?
There will be something coming soon. I'll be letting you know as soon as we can share that.
Okay, sounds good. Of course, everybody tuning in this evening, especially those folks that took the time out to put in their applications for the 2019 grant program. So I guess without any further ado, let's go ahead and race through those and see who the lucky recipients are.
Absolutely. And I just want to thank all those almost 300 applicants who took the time to fill out the application. Just as a reminder, the prize money here goes to deepening the prize purses for these events so that they can pay out to the top 10 overall, as well as the top 10 in each category, really giving more teams a chance to get their name called at those competitions and continue to keep competing and going to more and more competitions across the country. So thanks so much to everyone who applied. Smithfield is thrilled to have awarded $400,000 to date, and this is our 3rd year.
Wow.
And for 2019, we have now selected 33 events across the country. So
Really?
I'll jump right into that list.
Wow. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so coming up on January 18th, our very first event out of the gate, Slabo-Rama Barbecue Championship in Bullhead City, Arizona. Next up, we have Lakeland Pig Fest in Lakeland, Florida.
Nice.
We have Sip and Swine in Lawrenceville, Georgia on March 2nd. We have the Hammond Barbecue in Hammond, Louisiana. On March 30th, we have Suncoast Barbecue and Bluegrass Bash in Venice, Florida. On April 6th, Spring Fest in Beeville, Texas. On April 12th, Smoke in the Spring in Osage City, Kansas. High on Hog Festival in Winchester, Tennessee on the 20th of April. Washmo Barbecue Bites and Blues in Washington, Missouri on April 26th. That same weekend, we have the 14th annual Smoke and Red Dirt Barbecue in Enid, Oklahoma, as well as the Bishop Wild Horse Desert Roundup in Kingsville, Texas. We have the Barbecue Jamboree Double in Fredericksburg, Virginia on the 4th of May. The same weekend, we have Diggy with the Piggy in Kannapolis, North Carolina.
Love that name.
And, yeah. And we've got Masters in May in Wisconsin.
All right.
On, I believe that'll be our Memorial Day weekend, 5/24, we have a Westmont Red, White, and Barbecue in Westmont, Illinois. June 1st, Big Blue Barbecue in Marysville, Kansas. We've got Smoking and Steel up in Minnesota, 5/31. Also on 5/31, we have the 8th annual Valley Veterans Barbecue Competition in Valley, Nebraska. We have the original SD Barbecue Championship in Huron, South Dakota. On June 22nd, Heritage Days Barbecue Showdown in Belbridge, Illinois. Coming to mid-July, July 13th, we have the Gold Ribbon Barbecue Fest in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Nice.
And we have the Gilroy Garlic Q Barbecue Challenge in Gilroy, California on, July 27th. The Hudson Valley Rib Fest in New York, August 16th. In August 24th, the 8th annual Best Store Barbecue in Washington Island, Washington. September 14th, Table Rock Boats and Bones in Kimberly City, Missouri. On September 20th, Chili HD Bikers Blues and Barbecue Rally in Salisbury, North Carolina. We have Riverfest 2019 in Decatur, Alabama. The Tri-City Barbecue Festival in Denison, Iowa on September 21st. The 2019 Wildwood Barbecue Bash in Wildwood, Missouri on September 27th.
Nice.
Mississippi Delta State Barbecue Championship in Cleveland, Mississippi on October 12th. November 30th, the Jonesboro Downtown Barbecue Music Festival in Jonesboro, Arkansas. And last but not least, our Briscoe Ranch Barbecue Cook-Off in Texas on December 13th.
That's 33 if you were counting. Wow. I mean, you guys really, as you're going through and naming the states, you're really kind of crisscrossing the country in a great way.
We're definitely trying to. We realize there's barbecue in all corners of the country, and we really want to spread the love as much as we can.
As far as, so is there going to be, or is there a list that folks can go to if they just kind of tuned in for half of that or whatever that I can link up to after the fact?
Absolutely. Yep. So we'll be posting it on social media, as well as getting it on Smoking with Smithfield. It should be live on Smoking with Smithfield tomorrow morning. You can check it out there. I'll be happy to post it on my Facebook as well as on Smithfield's Facebook this evening as well.
Last but not least, we do want to make sure that if anybody is a pro Smithfield person, especially if you're a committed cook, you want to use the proper hashtags on social media, correct?
Yes, please. Anytime you were talking about Smithfield, we want to see you using that hashtag Smoking with Smithfield. It lets us see what you're doing. Obviously, we want to know where you are, what you're doing, what you're liking. So that gives you an easy way to be communicating with me and the Smithfield barbecue team. So keep up those hashtags.
All right, so again, the website, smokingwithsmithfield.com. If you're following Belinda on social media, be aware that tomorrow you will see a full list of all of the names that we just got through that received the 2019 grant program. And anything else before I let you go tonight, Belinda?
Just thanks to the community so much for supporting us in our initiatives. If it weren't for you guys and your love and your commitment to barbecue, we wouldn't be what we are. So we want to keep working with you and make barbecue great.
With the Smithfield barbecue team, it is Belinda Hammond joining me here on the show. Belinda, thanks so much.
Thank you.
You got it. There she is. Wow, can you believe we got through that 33-team field? Oh, my goodness. I mean, that was absolutely spectacular.
All guests appear via the Traeger Grills hotline. Yummy.
Kind of cutting a huge swath out of that whole country, getting around. Arizona, Kansas, Georgia, all the points in between. I believe there was a Wisconsin in there. There was a Minnesota. Didn't hear an Ohio. Come on, Ohio. Whoa. Come on, Ohio. You can do it. That was weird. Hey, let me talk to you quickly about the Barbecue Guru, makers of automatic pit temperature control devices. You know, they've always believed that outdoor cooking can be fun and easy, especially with the Monolith Barbecue Guru Edition grill. The Monolith is the world's first temperature-controlled smoker with a built-in power draft fan. This means smarter control and greater freedom with automatic pit temperature control. Easily choose your cooking time and temperature. Let the Monolith do the work of a sous chef or a barbecue pit master. With minimal effort, you now have oven-like precision at the grill, and you can serve the tastiest, juiciest meals each and every time. By the way, if you already have a Barbecue Guru temperature controller and you're buying a Monolith, you don't have to get a brand new controller, right? Hook up the controller right to the fan that's built into the Monolith, and away you go. If you have any questions about what you might need to order, give them a shout, 800-288-GURU. That's 800-288-GURU. Or you can visit the website, bbqguru.com. All right, we're back to wrap the show. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show.
Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Greg Rempe.
All right. Welcome back. Thanks again to Belinda Hammond from Smithfield. Taking a quick look back at 2018, she said there were still some spots for the 2019 Committed Cooks program, so if you want to do that, head on over to smokingwithsmithfield.com and sign up. I think the shipping charge is like $20 or $25, and then you get over $100 worth of stuff. Also, the National Barbecue Championship will be taking place in New Orleans November 14th through the 17th, as she had mentioned. And the scoring for that has been going on for, 4 months now. So I believe she said shortly they will be putting up the scoreboard so you can start to track your favorite teams and where they're starting to slot to get into the overall championship. And then you have a 3-day whittle down process. 24 goes to 12, final 6, and then you get it. That's the National Barbecue Championship. And, of course, we went through the 33 events that receive the 2019 Smithfield Grant Program. As she had mentioned, $400K has been put back into competition barbecue. So if you are into competition barbecue, that's something that you do, something that you like. It's hard to deny that there's probably no other organization that is putting money back into that sport that you might love so much. I know I love talking about it with people that are really good at it. So I'm sure they appreciate the fact that Smithfield is doing it. I appreciate that they support the show. So head on over to smokingwithsmithfield.com for all the information and to keep up with all the stuff. By the way, if you do use the products and you do use social media, I'm wondering what percentage of Centralites don't use social media at all. A lot of barbecuers or live fire cookers love to take pictures. Like my man Kinger is a big picture taker. He loves tagging and videoing and picturing. So you know when he uses Smithfield, he's going to be tagging Smoking with Smithfield when he uses those ribs or pork butt or tenderloins or whatever. And the guy's a media god. In Canada. We won't hold that against him, right? We won't hold it against him. It's all right. You can still hang out in Canada. That's all right, Kinger. Make another booze teen, and maybe that will make you a little happier. I know that will make me happier. You could do a whole nother booze teen video, Kinger, and it would be like as good as the first one. As many booze teen videos as you can make, each one will be great. There's no law of diminishing return on booze teen videos. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and search Booze Teen in the archives. You will be happy that you did. Let's wrap it up all the way back in the first hour. Meathead! AmazingRibs.com, couch gating. If you're not familiar with couch gating, give it a try this coming weekend. It's tailgating, but you're doing it at your house. Then there was an open KCBS segment that went about as well as I thought it was going to go. I'm smart. And we close it out with Belinda Hammond from Smithfield talking about the upcoming, later in the year, National Barbecue Championship. And most importantly, reveal the 2019 Smithfield Grant recipients. That was great. That website, by the way, smokingwithsmithfield.com. Keep up with that for any changes and so forth. A big show planned for you next week, actually through the balance of the month. A lot of great guests coming up. A lot of new guests coming up. Some segment changes. You'll be informed if you stick with me through social media at BBQ Central Show on Instagram, on Twitter, /BBQ Central Show on Facebook. September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. Until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe. Good night now.